Okay. Well, let's just get chill on the road, I guess. Alright, so who are we waiting on? We're only missing one more person, it seems. Yep, I'm all good as Sparry. Oh, hey Crichton. Well, good to see your pop in the chat. Yep, gonna be doing another race to commentate. Did Open Series Tier 1 last night, and now I'm doing Formula Performance again. Alright, Sparry's can give him the call. We should be getting ready to go. Fair enough, Crichton. Fair enough. Well, if you decide to watch the entire race, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Because it's mostly different now with this little league here, because this is an unequal performance rather than the equal performance we're all accustomed to. Hopefully we'll get going soon. We should be ready up, but I don't think everyone's gotten the message. Oh, there we go. Now I got the countdown clock. Alright. Make sure I get the steer reports up. Ironically, only just one report that came out on that too. But I'll go over that a little bit later. Oh, get out with that voice chat suspended crap. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to round 3 of the America Formula Performance here on Raceback Esports on K1997. Once again, commentating for this event, and this time we are racing at the Bahrain International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Opened in 2004, designed by Herman Tilke. It's actually its 20th anniversary of race here in Bahrain. It is a 3.3 mile racetrack consisting of 15 turns and 3 DRS zones. One that leads down the main straightaway towards turn 1. The other ones at the exit of turn 3 leading up to turn 4, and the exit of turn 10 leading up towards turn number 11. Of course, those areas are probably the prime overtaking spots on the racetrack here in Bahrain. Also being known to be the first ever racetrack in Formula 1 to host a race in the Middle East as well, back, also, like I mentioned, in 2004 when it first got introduced. There are some heavy braking zones, of course, around this racetrack, 5 of which are very heavy. Of course, the drivers will have to keep in mind if you are using no ABS, particularly at turn 8 and turn number 10, especially turn 10, which I find to be the hardest part of any part of the racetrack here, because it's just a really downhill corner, very slow corner, but you got to keep it tight to the apex as best you can without having a lock up. But yeah, other than that, there's also some excuse me, also some tricky traction zones at the exit of 8 and 10, mostly in some of the slow speed sections, but hopefully that won't get a lot of drivers off guard. We could see potentially close qualifying here. It was close from last night when I commentated Open Series Tier 1. Hopefully maybe it'll be the same story. Like I mentioned before, this is on unequal performance. So basically, yeah, it's not equal like we have been accustomed to. Obviously being the top car being the Red Bull and the worst car being the AlphaTauri. You'll probably get the memo as we go along. But before we go fully focused to qualifying, there is some news to go through. First, from last week's race at Canada, and only one incident that came out of all of it. It was the incident between Professor Phil and Black Bola. We actually caught that incident on stream. Phil did a dive bomb on Bola, which then caused him to go off the track and himself as well, because Phil wasn't very happy for whatever reason. So he took with Bola, so he took it pretty much out of frustration on him. Amazingly, though, I thought this would have been a more harsher penalty, but apparently Phil was given a 5-second penalty and a license points for the incident. So I don't think that necessarily affects the results from last week. In the Drivers' Championship, it's Tom leading the way on 53 points, followed by Coral in second on 50. Also, those two are absent for this race as well. Lil Mick in third with 28 points, followed by Dig Easy in fourth, and Spotty rounds off the top 5 with 26 points. Constructors' Championship, Alfa Romeo leading the way on 81 points, followed by Williams in second with 59, Alpine in third with 41, McLaren are in fourth with 37, and Ferrari rounds it off with 30 points. Well, that's it in terms of the news. We can now fully focus into qualifying, and we're right on board with Blockman in the AlphaTauri. Of course, he is in the slowest car on the grid, like I had mentioned before. We'll see how he can cope here in Bahrain as he opens up the DRS to start his flying lap, heading up towards the first turn, with the car reaching into peak speed of 203 miles an hour. I have kilometers an hour in my head from last time for whatever reason. Through turn 2 into turn 3, very tricky little area as well. Turns 1, 2, and 3, up towards turn number 4, open DRS, and braking just before the 50 board, down to third gear, then short shifts up to fourth, as he heads up towards now the middle sector of turn 5, 6, and turn 7. Now up towards turn 8, down to third, hard on the brakes, lock up there, did miss the apex a little bit there, and had a bit of a moment as well, had a correction at the exit of that corner. Now into turn 9, in into turn 10, the heavy braking zone of turn 10. Very tricky as well. For Blockman, seems like he got that nailed to a T. Up towards turn 11 we go, as he heads up to now the uphill section of turn 11, down to fourth. Braking just before the 50, as he now heads up and over the hill towards turns 11 and turn 12. That curve there has been notorious for causing accidents in previous years, but hasn't been so in this sort of occasion in this game. Now heading up towards the final 2 turns of the racetrack, turns 14 and 15. Again, another heavy braking zone there. A little bit of slight heavy braking. Through the kink of 15, yeah, that kink there, yeah, is the final corner on the racetrack. Blockman will jump to the top for now with a 1 minute 30.5. Like I said, too, the times are going to be different from what you may have saw from Pacific Open Series Tier 1. Surf goes to the top now with a 1:30.1 in the Williams. Very good time indeed by him, as we'll have more times come on the board. Harmisters with a 30.5. Honeybee with a 31.2. Travar with a 31.6. And Country Dawn with a 31.8. Milestrike with a 47.2. Probably wasn't a more representable lap. See if he can maybe find more time. Jay and the Williams hanging around turn 13, as someone just came across the line there. That was Subflime in the Haas doing a 31.0. Jay, hey, up towards the final 2 turns of the racetrack. We'll try to complete the lap here. will open the DRS. Up to the line he goes. We'll set a 31.2 for Jay. As Rebel now jumps to the top with a 29.8 in the Alfa Romeo, reserving for Tom on this occasion. Interesting. Wasn't Jay in the AlphaTauri last I checked? Actually, no, he's not a full-time driver. I just remembered. No, it's Nander and Blotman that are the AlphaTauri duo. Let's see here. Little Mick hanging out the final 2 turns. See what lap time he can put up. Is it good enough for... Yep, I was going to say good enough for maybe the top 5. It's only good enough for P2. Not far from Rebel, though, in fairness. Just about, maybe about a tenth and a half off with a 130.049. But yeah, so far, Rebel's the only one that's cracked into the 29.8s. As Phil goes off the circuit there just a little bit there at turn 13. I don't think it was on a more representable lap from what it looked like. Nander's getting ready, it seems. He's on the outlap as we see. The other Haas of Black Bull just came across the line there. Did a 31.2. In 9th position he goes. Miles Strike has now put probably a more representable time there, I guess. A 33.6. And I think that was an Alpine? I think, or who was that just came across the line? That might have been Take Her Easy there in the McLaren. 131.268. So far, only about 300 separating between Take Her Easy down to Black Bulla. Quite close. And 1,000 off of Honeybee in 7th position. Spy on that lap. Nander will be looking like the next driver who will set a flying lap. Of course, he hasn't set one just yet. He'll start his first one, and we'll head down the main straight with 10.5 minutes in qualifying left. And he does not open the DRS. That's very interesting. He doesn't open it. Okay. He's using battery, though, which is interesting. Yeah. Does he use DRS here to turn 4? Nope. Okay, so he's just going to do a lap without using DRS, I guess. Let's see. Sparty towards turn 1. Going a little bit deep there into turn 1. Heads up through the gear. Goes up the gears. Heading up towards now turn 4 for the Ferrari driver. Brings it down to 3rd. Around the corner he goes there. Funny, I've seen a lot of drivers use 3rd gear. Normally it's a 4th gear corner, like I've said. And well, it's I kind of say that because it's my own personal preference of how I take that corner more specifically. Of turn 4. It's usually a 3rd or 4th gear corner, but mostly it's a 4th gear corner. That's how I would tend to find the traction. Up towards now turn number 10 we go. Goes the Ferrari driver. Brings down a 2nd and then short shift up to 3rd, and then comes up the gears down the back straight. Opens the DRS, staying up towards turn 11. Doesn't use the outside curve. I have seen also drivers, including myself, I tend to use the outside curve to get a better entry into turn 11. He's apparently purple according to the mini-map, is the Ferrari driver, Sparty. He's also got 2 more turns to negotiate. Nander does a 37.6. That's with him without using DRS. Craig starts his lap as well in the McLaren. Sparty, to the line he comes, will set a 30.9. That's good enough for 7th position. See here, Craig up towards turn 4. He comes in the Papaya machine. Now to 3rd gear, heading around turn 4. What will the clock say for Craig here in this first sector? It's a 29.6. Not a very competitive first sector, if I'm totally fair. But the other drivers are about to get ready for their laps as well. How about Style Harmony? What is he up to? He's on the medium compound tire. What did he do his best lap on? He did, oh, same tire, of course. Okay. Alright, Craig heading up towards turn 11. Down to 4th gear goes the McLaren. Up and over the hill towards turn 12. See what Milsetti will put up here. It's going to be a 9-1. It is for the middle sector for Craig. Surf has just started his flying lap, and he's up by just over a tenth of a second to the first sector. Blotman has just begun his flying lap. Rebel has just begun his as well. Nanda goes to P3 with a 130.1, so he's now done a lap with using DRS, as it seems. Craig has just come across the line, does a 31.6. Blotman heading through the turn 7. I didn't quite catch what his first sector was. O'Arlo was Surf, since he's going to be close to being to cross the line. He's coming up to the middle sector right now. He's currently sitting in 4th, and he's up by well over 0.3 of a second. That's definitely going to be right about where Rebel is, so he definitely is in position to overtake him for pole position. Heads up to the final 2 turns, uses the outside curb, down to 3rd, and then gets back up the gears as he heads down the main straightaway towards the finish line. And it's good enough for pole for now with a 129.814. Blotman has backed out of his lap, and that lap won't count for him. Rebel, though, he's actually backed out of his lap as well, so he won't improve here. Harmesis, though, is heading up towards the final 2 turns of the racetrack. Currently P6 in the Ferrari machine. Oh, he spins out of the final corner. Yep. Gets a bit of a spin that's ruined his lap completely. Better get going, otherwise, yeah, you don't want to impede anybody. Thankfully, he does not. Good job, good awareness there from Harmesis after the spin. Blotman goes back into pit lane. Rebel, though, yeah, he's got a big. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot he backed out of his lap. Travad doesn't seem like he's on a competitive lap, I don't think. Black Bulla, he looks like he's on a competitive lap. Let's wait and see. He heads up towards the middle sector comes the Haas car. Let's see what the clock says for him. He is up by 0.3. So with that improvement, he can get ahead of his teammate and get into the top 10. Country Don's down on his time. Milestrike up by 1.3 seconds to the middle sector. Or first sector, I'm sorry. Middle sector? First sector. Ugh, I'm getting my sectors all mixed up now. Well, does improve on his time there, 130.9. Puts himself, yep, like I said, into the top 10. Honeybee, he's going back into pit lane. Obviously, his lap wasn't what he desired. Milestrike does improve to a 32.2. Alright, so now we got a bit of a lull period here, I guess, with 4.5 minutes left here qualifying. Everyone's either in the pits or they're trying to get back into the pits. Sergeant Bill actually is on a competitive lap. He's up by 0.2 of a second to the middle sector. There's the Alpine car. At least this Alpine looks better than real lives. Oh god, I don't think the Alpine. Yeah, yeah, the real life Alpine in 2024 is quite garbage. Meanwhile, Sergeant Bill splits the Haas cars. Now puts himself into 11th place with a 130.9. I think with the time left on the clock, he should be able to get back into the pits and get on another set of tires and put on another lap. Yeah, no one's coming out of the pits just quite yet. Harmony actually has just come out for an lap in the Red Bull machine, currently sitting in 17th place. With that 131.3. Milestrike now up by 0.3. Will he crack into the 131s for the Mercedes driver? He's currently plumb last, but will it be a position improvement? It's just a time improvement. 32.0 for Milestrike, still sits in plumb last. Little Mick getting ready as well. Style Harmony also getting ready, like I said. Travat is getting ready too. Sergeant Bill's got 3 minutes to go to get back into the pits and get a new tires. He needs to get out within at least a minute and a half remaining in qualifying. I think he'll be alright. I think he should do just that. Alright, now we're seeing some more cars come out of the pits, so With now 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes left on the clock. Solid Harmony, though, will start what could potentially be his final flying lap. But he's got to be careful with the traffic that will be coming out of the pits. Thankfully, they all get out of his way. Up towards turn 1. Down to second gear. Clips a lot of the apex there at turn 1. Tries to bring the car up the gears. Up towards turn 4. Let's see what kind of improvement, if he can find any sort of improvement. Currently seeing P17. Doesn't bother using the outside curve for the entry there into turn 4. Clock says for Harmony, he is up by 81 thousandths to the first sector. Goes the Red Bull car. Let's see here. There is a Alfa Romeo getting ready. That is Lil Mick. He'll be starting his flying lap shortly. Currently occupying third with a 130.0. Not far away though from pole position. But for his sake, he would need to find about just a tenth and a half, or about more than a tenth and a half, to get at least up to pole. But with the track improving as well, he will need to improve probably by a little bit more than that. Harmony up to the middle sector is up by 2.5 tenths. So with that sort of improvement, he could get ahead of just Travah unless he has enough to get. He has more time to find the final sector to get ahead of Subfalime. Out of the final corner now, back onto the main straight comes the Red Bull car to complete his final lap, and it's a 30.7. He actually found a lot more time in that final sector. Improves by 0.6 of a second, as a matter of fact. Lil Mick is up by 13 thousandths to the first sector. Rebel is coming up to the first sector as well. Clock says for the Alpha driver, he is up by nearly 0.3 of a second. That's a very big chunk of time in that first sector from Rebel. Blockman has now just started his flying lap. Harmicus is up by 0.1 of a second to the first sector. Ooh, that's a Williams there. That might be Surf, I think. No, that's the other Williams of Jag getting ready. Surf has just started his flying lap. As the Mercedes there, I think, of Travah, I think, has improved on his time with a 30.7. Rebel up to the middle sector he comes. What will the clock say for the Alpha driver? He was up by nearly 0.3, and he's lost time. He's lost over a tenth and a half, as a matter of fact, in that middle sector. As Lil Mick, I think he did not improve on that lap. He's going again, though, from what it looks like, I think. Blockman up by just over 2.5 tenths to the first sector. Nander is down by 5 thousandths to the first sector. Rebel crosses the line. It's P1 for now. Harmicus beats him to it with a 29.6. Surf up by 11 thousandths to the first sector. What about Blockman? He's invalidated the lap. He was up by nearly 4.5 tenths. He's not going to have that lap count. It's over for Blockman. It's over. Surf up by 10 thousandths. He needs to find at least 2 tenths if he wants to get harm assist for pole position here. Subfalime improves to a 30.5. Honeybee with a 30.6. Smarty with a 30.6. Completing that top 10. Surf crosses the line. Is it enough? No, it is not. He misses out. He misses out by 100th to Rebel for second position. Lil Mick, though, is up by 3.5 tenths. Can he get pole position here as he comes up to the final 2 turns of the racetrack? 2 more turns to negotiate for the Alpha driver. Up to the line he comes. Nander improves to P5. Lil Mick crosses the line. Is it enough? No, it is not. He misses out by just 2 tenths. Stays P4. And that's it for qualifying. Jay improves to a 30.3. And yeah, Blockman quite disappointed with himself. Invalidating that lap, up by 4 tenths, and unfortunately threw it all away at turn 13. And that's it for qualifying. It's Harmicus on pole position here for this Bahrain Grand Prix. It's also his second pole, if I'm correct as well. His first one came at Spain, did for Harmicus. But there you go. There's your order here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Harmicus on pole, Rebel second, Surf third, Lil Mick, followed by Nander, Professor Phil, JM, Blockman, Black Bowler, Subfalime, Honeybee, Sparty, Travar, Take Her Easy, Salt, Harmony, Sergeant Bill, Country Dawn, Craig, and Mile Strike. Rounds out the order. Okay, well, it's time for the race then here in Bahrain. We'll see how this pans out, I suppose. Oh, what do you know? Clear skies. All dry for Bahrain. What a total surprise. Considering it doesn't ever rain in Bahrain. Well, at least not in the game. I don't think they ever... Well, if Bahrain ever gets rain, that's not very much. Yeah. I think it's the only track in the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken, in the game that does not rain. I have seen it before in Qatar, not in league racing, but I remember I did a Grand Prix practice one time, and I had wet weather conditions for Qatar, which I was quite surprised about. Yeah, Jeddah's another one as well. Abu Dhabi is another one too, but yeah, I've never seen one for Bahrain. Yeah, and that's out of the what is it? The four Middle East tracks we go to for Formula One. Kind of crazy that we go 4 races for the Middle East. Won't be long until we go to another one this weekend as well, or the coming weekend at Jeddah. Yeah, I'll have the same format as well, with practice starting on Thursday, qualifying Friday, and then Saturday being the main race. Everyone just trying to get through all their setups, tires, fuel, and all that stuff ready to go. Well, I imagine that there'll be quite a bit of chaos, I feel, for this race compared to what I saw last night. I mean, we had some dramatic moments, but I feel like this one's going to have a little bit here and there. Yeah, it was a good race to watch, though, I will say, from last night for Open Series Tier 1. Whew, alright. Alright, come on, boys. Should be all good to go, I would think. Yeah, everyone just waiting in the garage. I'm pretty much like those mechanics in the Red Bull garage, just sitting there waiting for something to happen. Yeah, the only driver I think we were missing for the race was Liquido, not surprisingly. Oh boy. Alright. Well, we also got the formation lap as well. Like, American Series is the only league and race spec that actually does that too. Believe it or not. The Pacific Series, I know it does not. The Pacific Series, whatever it would be. I'm not sure if it's for the rest, but yeah. Oh, thank goodness. Now we can start the formation lap. There we go. The only good thing about it is at least it gives me a chance to look at the tires, and Harmison has not moved an inch. Oh, there you go. Now he's going. Right, so let's take a look and see what tires everyone's on. So, yeah, pole sitter Harmison, who didn't even get off the grid, currently is on the medium compound tire. Rebel in second is on the hard. Surf in third is on the soft tire. So, I think you better watch out for him because he'll be rapid at the start with those soft tires. Little Mick on the hards, Nander on the hards, Professor Phil on the mediums, along with Jay, Blockman on the hards as well. And then Black Bowler, Subfalime, Honeybee, Sparty on the mediums, Trevor on the softs, Take Her Easy on the mediums, Harmony on the hards, Bill on the softs, Country Don on the mediums, Craig on the softs, and Miles Strike on the mediums. I'll be honest, I'm surprised there isn't much of hard runners compared to mediums. Last time we had majority, I think we had like only 3 drivers on the mediums if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and only like 3 drivers, yeah, only 3 drivers on the mediums. Everyone else was on the hards in that race. Should we get rid of the tire? We'll get rid of the tire graphic for now. So I can get a bit of a clear view for the start as well. But yeah, Palmer Sisto is a bit out of position for where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be on pole, but obviously he didn't even get off the grid because he probably wasn't paying attention. But yeah, if Harmesis can get a good start, he's on the racing line. He can try to cut off maybe Rebel and go into turn 1. But if Rebel gets a good start, he could try to have the inside line for the first turn. But like I said, don't count on Surf as well on those soft tires. He'll definitely be fast off the start, but I think those tires though might be a bit iffy for a bit of the first stint. Okay, well here we go. Everyone is all well, close to being lined up for the race. There is an Alpine going off. Oh no. Oh, for God's sake. Now I got the Alpine all out of position. Yep. Cool. And Professor Phil's been disqualified. So both Alpines have been disqualified. Cool, that means we're going to need to do a lobby restart. Gee, like I never would have saw this coming. Oh, you're joking. Alright, well. Yeah, completely forgot as well that formation lap is broken in this game. For the love of God, please don't have it on next time. Alright. Well, better wait, I suppose. Again, I feel like I've done more waiting around than I have, like, watched cars going on the track. Yeah, I guess I better wait until Sparty can get the lobby all set up. But yeah, I mean, I've had times where, like, well, because I raced in another league that does formation lap, I haven't encountered really a problem with it, at least so far. But I know the formation lap in this game is still completely broken. I mean, it's kind of been that way for a while. Not just this game, but also in F1 2022 was a bit broken. Yeah, so. Yeah, always good fun. Yeah, I know, like, the like, I wouldn't say professional, but, like, top leagues that I've commentated or watched in the past. Well, I commentate PSGL, which also doesn't do Formation Lap. They haven't for quite some time because of how broken it is. And of course, in a few other leagues have done the same thing. Kind of sucks, but I mean, it's not, you know, the league's fault. It's Codemasters. They just can't produce again. That also brings up another thing as well, with how early Codemasters are gonna release their new game of F1 24. I mean, seriously, this is like the earliest release I've ever seen for a Codemasters game. Because in my previous times, playing F1 games, because my first game was, what was it, F1 2011? So yeah, you know, those games were great. And plus, like, it gave you the pure, authentic experience of F1, etc. I remember those games didn't have Formation Lap. That wasn't a thing. I don't think Formation Lap came to become a thing until 2015 for Codemasters. But, yeah, like, those games were great back then. But then, yep. I think Miles has invited me. Cool. But yeah, with those games though, they've had times where they would release it. Well, I remember like the early days. Well, for me, that is being around the early 2010s. They used to release the games like around, like the latest would be September sometimes, but I remember it would be like either August, sometimes July, like around that time. Even from like the previous games we've had for the last few years. But then, like, 2022 came, and then we had that game released around late June. Then this game came out in June, mid-June, and the next one's gonna come out in late May. But like, I feel like that's way too early. Just because I feel the game's gonna be so broken off the start. But what also causes a bit of an alarm as well, and this is, I don't know if this is completely true. I've only saying this because a mate told me this when we were playing co-op the other day. He said to me, apparently from what the reasoning is for Codemasters to release the next game so early, is because F1 Esports want to get their series going and not do on this game, 23 that is. Because of how broken it is. If that's what F1 Esports saying that, that's a giant red flag. And I mean, I was saying that too with, oh goodness, who was I in the party with when we were talking about this? Lane and Prezzo from, Pacific side of things, because I usually am in a party with them on quite a few occasions. Yeah, when I mentioned that, it's like, yeah, we all agree that it's like a giant red flag, and I think it is. I just think it's way too early. I mean, the fact that okay, here's the thing about this game for F1 23. The thing they got right, to me, is the handling model. They got that correct. The traction's better, the handling's better, and I feel like it's a lot better to drive the car. The bad is that everything else is broken. It's still the same bugs, or we get new different bugs. I mean, the one thing that really, really ticks me off, and I'm sure it's the same for everyone else, is how many times Codemasters have screwed over the equal performance. That was one of the biggest ones for me. Like, how on earth do you screw it up after an update? Then it takes them about, like, 2 or 3 weeks to get it fixed. Or do a hot fix, or quote-unquote hot fix. Yeah, because you remember at times we had to use the multiplayer cars because that was the only way we could race on equal performance. And then, yeah, with all those stupid bugs, it just doesn't look good for anyone, or for league race, for the game, or for league racing. But this is the same stuff that Codemasters have been doing for years, and it doesn't seem like they tend to care. In fairness, I feel that the people that are running this game or in charge of developing this game from Codemasters, I don't think are this. Yeah, I think Lane pointed this out to me, and I agree with him on this. I don't think they're the same people that developed the games from the early times from Codemasters. I feel like these are different people that probably have no idea how to make a pure, authentic game for anyone that loves racing or Formula One. It just isn't. Which is a massive disappointment. But, yeah, I don't know how I feel about 24. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I want to pre-order or even want to buy the game if it's going to be bad. I mean, yes, I'm sorry for rambling on about Codemasters, but I feel like that's what everyone does nowadays. Because Codemasters is always a talking point for F1 League racing or gaming in general. It's honestly the truth. But yeah, with EA buying out Codemasters, it's just... You can definitely tell that some things are EA-esque. With the microtransactions and all that good stuff. But anyway. I think we're all good here. Hopefully. Is the formation lap on or off? I'm gonna take a look at that. It's off. Okay, good. Yeah, it shouldn't be on. Yeah, after that little mishap. Okay, well, let's try this again. Hopefully this time we will at least get something going. Hmm. Alright, well, just remember to get all your setups in, boys. Get your setups, get whatever strategy you want to do, and we'll go forward. Alright, get all his setups on and everything like that. We'll have 29 laps, of course, around Bahrain International Circuit. Alright. Everyone seemed to really be taking their time doing their setups and all that. A lot of time, I guess. Really taking time. Really taking your sweet time, I guess. Should have been like in... should have had at least 7 laps or 8 laps done by now. Alright, finally we can get going here. We got the 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And we're underway here in Bahrain. It's a nice start by Rebel and the Alfa Romeo. Hey, up towards the first corner. Armistice gets swallowed up by the Williams to serve. Into turn 1 we go. And Aston Martin goes off the track and destroys the braking boards in the process. Hey, up through turns 2 and 3. Everyone gets through relatively alright, except for the braking boards that got destroyed. Up towards turn 4. Nando now bringing pressure to Professor Phil. Down the inside he goes. Goes the Alpine. Also a bit of skirmish as well between Take Her Easy and Sparty. Up towards now the end of the first sector we go. Oh, it's still a tight battle. Jay and Blockman, the Williams and AlphaTauri. Williams losing a little bit ground here, as he now under pressure from the 2 Haas's of Sunfaline and Black Bulla. Nander is now overtaking Harmses. Harmses has had an atrocious start. And look at that, already down from P1 down to 4th. Already after just at least 1 sector alone. Black Bulla now overtakes Jay there. Jay's dropping in a few spots as well, down to 10th position after starting near, like, close to the top 5. Up through turns 12 and to 13. Jay looking interested. Doesn't quite make the move there, not close enough. But meanwhile, it's Rebel out in front on the hard compound tire. Surface switch to the mediums now. And it's Rebel that leads by 8.5 tenths of a second to the Williams here. Cars getting into it as well. That looks like to be Sparty, Honeybee, and Take Her Easy. Up towards the first corner we go. Everyone seems to be on Elias Stern as well. Towards the back though. Jay down the inside of Black Bulla heading through turn 1. Can he get the move stick here into turns 2 and 3? He still has the inside line. Does the Williams here. But Bulla, he seems like he has more straight line speed compared to the Williams. And yeah, he stays in front. Sergeant Bill now overtakes Take Her Easy into turn 4. Oh, and spin! A big spin from Jay. Big, oh my goodness! Speed crash! Trava's out! Huge confetti flying everywhere. And that was a bit of a weird rejoin. Travaglia is out of the race. JM gets a penalty for the collision. He's got damage to the car as well, and we have a virtual safety car that's been deployed. Yeah, no front wing from Jay. That was a very, very bizarre incident there at turn 4 leading up to turn 5. Wow. Yeah, Travaglia is out on lap 2. And Jay's got no front wing, as you saw as well, so he'll have to pit. Everyone needs to keep their eyes on the Delta. You don't want to get a drive-through penalty, of course. That will really hamper your race. pit strategy there. I mean, that's kind of irrelevant stuff to me. I mean, even though most of the drivers are on mediums or hards, there was only 2 drivers on the softs, really. Gotta be careful here. DRS enabled now. Does Surf have DRS, though? I don't think he does on this occasion. He was 1.2 behind, and yeah, he doesn't have DRS on Rebel. So the Alfa Romeo stays clear of DRS. Phil can't find anything there on Harmesis. Harmesis trying to do whatever he can, but yeah, losing 3 spots on the opening lap. He hasn't really been able to get back up there after getting pole that on qualifying. He seems to be struggling in the race pace. 2 Austin so close to one another here. That's Ball and Subfalime. Take her easy also in the mix as well, battling with Sparty here. Up towards turn number 10 we go. Can't do anything there, of course. Not close enough. Not really an overtaking spot, obviously. Phil and Harmesis, 4.5 tenths the margin. Little Mick right behind as well in the Alfa Romeo. There's a positions gain. The best has been, out of everybody, has been Miles Strike, who's gained 5 spots on the opening lap, and obviously the worst has been Jay, who's down in last from that incident between himself and Travas. Rebel sets the fast lap of the race, 134.2. That's not being by Nanda with a 34.1. Here comes Professor Phil. DRS straight forward, nothing that the Ferrari can do. He might be overtaken twice here. As little Mick looks to the inside. Harmesis keeps the position there to turns 2 and 3. But the Ferrari, though, with the power down the straights, compared to the Alfa Romeo, stays in front. Meanwhile, towards the front here. Oh, hang on. Oh, off the track. That's Sparty going off the track. There at turn 4. He's lost at least 3 or 4 spots there at turn 4. He was in a battle with Take Her Easy. And now he's down to 13. He's now battling with Honeybee. Lockups there from, I probably would want to say that was from the Alpine. Oh, bit of a moment in the background there. That's Country Dawn battling away with Miles Strike for 15th place. Top 15, of course, do score points here in race spec. Looking at battery situation, top 2 seem relatively even, but Surf, of course, has used a little bit more compared to the Alpha. Rebel sets another fastest lap with a 33.8, as Professor Phil now counters that with a 33.0. So he's now trying to bring pressure to Nander with DRS. There's no 100 or 50 board either, so yeah, that's the boys that were taken off from the acid. I wasn't sure which one it was. Miles Strike overtakes Country Dawn at turn 1. Nander, wow, that was very interesting. Doesn't bother defending, he lets the Alpine through. Probably a bit of a DRS game, I assume, from the AlphaTauri driver. Take a look at battery situation here. Surf with 43 and Rebel with 59. So they're relatively even so far, but just about 10% difference between Surf and Rebel. To turn 11, nothing Nader will do here. Phil running a little bit wide, was kind of bottoming out on the curb a little bit there to turn 11. Nader will counter with DRS as well. Right behind the Alpine car. Up towards the final 2 turns. Back onto the main straight. Nader has DRS, and he will just go by. Ahead of the Alpine. Back to 3rd. There you go. He's now back up into 3rd position. Take her easy, overtaking Sub for Lime, also with DRS. That's Sparks, that's why I was reacting like that. McLaren on the inside gets through, and Phil takes the position back into turn 4. So again, these two are swapping places here. Sergeant Phil also trying to overtake Sub for Lime there into turn 4. Got the move done there. Just like that. He is on the soft tire as well, so he'll have to get a move on as well. See what he can come out of all this. Yeah, Phil leading a bit of a train here. Forming with Nander, Harmicist, and Lil Mick behind him. Surf still in the mix there with the battle between him and Rebel, but he is still out of that 1 second range. He'll definitely need to close that back up if he wants to get DRS. There's Blockman not too far away. We haven't said much about him so far. He's just had a bit of a lonely race so far. He's got Baller behind. But yeah, he hasn't been able to close up. Oh, a spin! That's Harmicist! Harmicist is spun. They're at turn 15. I'll be honest, even with ghosting, that's really good sportsmanship. Well done to him, for sure. Not to get into the fray and rejoin unsafely, even though ghosting is on. No, fair credit to him. Alright, so now the battle for the final podium spot has now become a 3-car fight for 3rd position. Still seeing gaps though between Rebel and Surf, but they're on different tires though. Rebel's on the hards and Surf is on the mediums, so yeah, Rebel right now is in a very good position for sure to have a really good solid result and get the race win. Although I probably wouldn't be surprised if Surf does try to go for some kind of undercut on the race later. Oh, hello, that's Take Her Easy with a run. I guess there was a mistake there from Bola. Take Her Easy to the outside. Gives him room as best he can. Take Her Easy around the outside will take 7th place. Right now they're on the hunt for Blockman, who's currently in 6th place. And hasn't really able to catch up to the 3-car fight for 3rd. Now going to have Take Her Easy and Bola still in the mix with DRS. Only difference is that he's on the hards and these two behind him are on the mediums. That being Blockman, that is. Oh, he doesn't have DRS, Take Her Easy. I thought he would have. Well, there you go. That gives Bola the opportunity into turn 1. Take Her Easy tries to outbrake him into turn 1 and keeps the position. I don't think he would have been too pleased about that. Yellows are out. That's for Jay. At turn 13, he gets going again. But yeah, that little battle there has kind of cost him a bit of time. As Sparty gets overtakes Sergeant Bill there for 11th. Army has retired in the pits. He's had enough. Becomes our 2nd retirement of the race here on lap 8. And Surf also, I have just noticed, looks like he made some sort of mistake as he's lost a 2nd to Rebel. Yeah, Rebel looking really strong here in this race, in that Alpha. Of course, the Alpha in this game is it's categorized as the 2nd worst car on the grid in front of AlphaTauri. Although in my opinion, I probably would say the worst car on the grid from 2023 was the Haas. It's good in race pace, but never put it together in or qualifying, I should say. Put it together in qualifying some aspects, but wasn't very good in the race. Phil overtaking Nander in to turn number 1. Not a huge surprise there with the 8 of DRS. And now Take Her Easy is overtaking Blockman there into turn 1. Blockman conceding there down to 7th place, but he will have DRS down towards turn 4. What will the AlphaTauri do here in this situation? Nothing on this occasion. Stays behind. Yeah, the AlphaTauri might be a bit lacking on the straights as well, considering that it's not a very good car down the straights. It's quite draggy, that AlphaTauri. Nice little air shot here, looking over a little bit of the middle sector here around Bahrain. It's very good indeed. Yeah, Surf now losing time to Rebel. It's now 4.3 seconds between the top two. Yeah, so Rebel's having his own little race there at the front. Blockman though. What will he do here? He's going to have DRS. He should. Missing the apex there at turn 13. That definitely will cost them a bit of time. And though his team, Blockman's teammate will try to overtake the Alpine, Honeybee, and Subflying battling away. Meanwhile though, should have kept my eyes on this. Nander goes down the inside. Turn 1, well, what do you know? Gets the move done there. Spire overtaking Honeybee as well. Down the inside comes the Haas there. And Phil re-overtakes Professor Phil for P3. They're side by side heading through turn. Oh, he backs out. Take her easy. And Blockman up towards turn 4. McLaren gets in front. Stays in front for P6. Oh, hello. That's a bit of an action here. Here's Black Bull outside now into turn 10 against Blockman. Oh, that's tight. Oh, I thought that was a bit of a lag spike. Black Bull there goes around the outside against Blockman. Now it goes up into P7. It's also bringing Sparty into the mix now, and also Honeybee. And Subflying, and Craig too, on the soft tires, mind you, as well. Alright. Nander with DRS. Is he going to line up another pass into turn 1? Professor Phil defending. Closing, not close enough. Phil locks up though into turn 1. Misses the apex by a mile. Should give Nander the run up towards turn 4. He moves to the inside. And like that, he gets it done there into turn 4. Constant overtaking at turn 1 and turn 4. Like, I didn't think that would happen. Rebel up ahead right now by 5.7 seconds. Nearly 5.7. Yeah, he is kind of in a world in his own at the moment in the lead. Looking very racy unless something dramatic happens like a safety car. Take her easy. Missing the apex there at turn 10. That's going to give Bola a big run. There's McLaren. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought he was alongside for a brief moment. Nope, take her easy, stays in front. Sparty losing a bit of ground to the top, to the 3 cars in front of him for the battle for 6. He needs to get into that 1 second range if he wants to get DRS on Blockman. Has he done that? Yes, just about. He should be able to get DRS down the straight. Phil, not close enough to overtake Nander, but they lock up there into turn 1. Black Bowler overtakes Take Her Easy there for P6 ahead of the McLaren. But the McLaren will get DRS towards turn 4. Same with Blockman as well. He's got a better run though. Bit hard defending here from the McLaren up. Oh, that is tight. Very, very tight. Blockman just didn't have the better straight line speed compared to that McLaren. Of course, the McLaren is categorized as the 5th best car on the grid in this game, that is. Even though I wouldn't agree with that, I would say it's the 4th best. Honeybee. Not close enough. Honeybee, though, and Sparty back in the mix here, thanks to the battle in front of them. Just waiting to see what happens in this whole pit cycle. We will do what here in these situations. Almost feels like a remnant to real life Bahrain Grand Prix we had Saturday, doesn't it? Kind of feels very remnant to that. Battles here and there. The leader, well, that was Max, going off into the distance. Phil overtakes the AlphaTauri. Here comes little Mick, making his first move in this whole train. Goes alongside Nander into turns 2 and 3. Contact between them. But the Alfa Romeo does have a bit of a run towards turn 4. Nander brakes later. More contact. The Alfa has the inside line. But now that'll convert. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, little Mick had to back out. Oh, that's contact. And a spin. Higurizi has spun. Oh, there must have been an incident between them and Black Ball. Oh, hello. Higurizi also hit the other Haas. Yeah, I guess Bala was acknowledging that was his fault for what happened. Trying to give back the position, which is fair enough. That's why he felt like that was his fault. Good sportsmanship. But now that makes it now Blockman in 6th position with Spotty right behind. You got Honeybee in the mix as well. But they also have pulled away from Craig, who doesn't seem like he's in that 1 second range. I don't know how he's still going on those soft tires, in fairness. He's done about 12 laps on those things. Looks like Spotty might line up a move here as Phil goes into the pits to get off the mediums and go onto the hards. To the end of this race from here. Spotty, well, I would expect an easy overtake here. Yeah, what do you know? It is. Ferrari just blitzes the AlphaTauri down the main straight. And Spotty moves up into P5. Blockman losing the back end there at the exit of turn 3. He has DRS, but he won't be close enough to do anything. Neither will Honeybee. Well, that's close. Craig goes into pits. Pit for mediums. Follow on to the hards. The good news for Phil is, at least for him, is that he's got clear air, so he can try to like get somewhat of a decent undercut on Nander, who he's been battling with for 3rd, and Lil Mick. It does seem like though that Lil Mick has pulled a bit of a gap though between himself and Nander for the battle for the podium. Yellows, that is from Mild Strike. At turns 2 and 3, losing the back end of the Mercedes. Here goes Surf into the pits. He's going to get off of the mediums and go on to the hards. Lil Mick and Nander follow suit. So they're going to try to respond to Professor Phil. Oh, hello. That's a move here. Around the outside goes the Aston Martin. Doesn't get the move done, but they're going to the pits. Higurizi and Honeybee are into the pits. Now, where is Professor Phil? He's coming down the main straight. Keep your eyes on the Alfa and the Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri. There is the Alfa Romeo Lil Mick. Phil has got the undercut to work. He now moves up into P7 ahead of Lil Mick and ahead of Nander, but they're on the medium tire. And Nander, though, 2.3 seconds behind Lil Mick. He's going to be looking like he might lose them for that third place spot. Surf down the inside of Country Dawn. Got the fresher tires. Dawn doesn't put up a fight, that's fair enough. He moves up into 5th place. Like I said, he's just trying to get a bit of an undercut as best he can on Rebel, who hasn't pitted just yet, but I think he'll be pitting soon, I imagine. Nope, he stays out for another lap, so he'll keep going on those hards. See what his game plan is. There's Professor Phil right on the back of Country Dawn. Matter of fact, too, he isn't too far away from Surf. Yeah, Phil's going to have to overtake Dawn. He can't stay behind him and get DRS. Yeah, he has to stay behind him as best he can. So maybe we might have a battle for P2 here. We'll have to wait and see. Suffer Lime in the pits. After 15 laps on those mediums, he goes into the pit lane. As Blotman and Sparty are side by side. Oh, that's lag. Quite a bit of lag. Sparty has the outside line, but Blotman has DRS on the inside. Sparty breaks later. Oh, tries to give him room. He does keep the position though. AlphaTauri just cannot do a thing about the straight line speed of that Ferrari. Yeah, of course, the top 3 haven't pitted yet. Well, Mick overtakes Country Dawn there. That's for P6. Yeah, Phil making the use of the undercut right now. Like I said, he's gonna have a little Mick on his rear trumpet probably shortly. Oh, Rebel, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Ooh, that is a costly penalty. Even though he will be... Oh! Okay, he's going to the softs to the end. So he's going to do about 13 laps on those things. Well, we did see a few drivers doing that earlier. Blotman stays out as Sparty comes in. There is Rebel, stays in the lead. Keeps the position ahead of Blotman. Sparty goes onto a set of medium compound tires to the end of the race from here. Sparty will come out in P12 behind Take Her Easy. Take Her Easy made his undercut work. Same with Bola. To get ahead of him. Craig though has put up a pretty good undercut as well, actually, in fairness. He's right now in 9th place on those mediums. He was in the back of that whole little train in the midfield earlier. Missed the apex though by a mile because he had a bit of a moment. He was on top of the curve there at turn 7. Bola looking to the outside. Up turn 10, locks up there from the lock up for the McLaren, and a bit of a moment as well. Bola can't do anything here, not close enough. Surf though is closing in on Blotman. Right on the back of the AlphaTauri. He's on old tires. Really struggling a little bit, stays out for another lap. He might be praying for a safety car is what he's doing. Oh, what on earth was going on there? Gee whiz. Surf to the outside. Will get in front of Blotman. Yeah, Blotman can't do anything about that. Country Dawn also in the pits. How will the status of those tires will be for Rebel? As Armistead sets the fast up with a 32.8. Yeah, remember he's got that penalty though to worry about. He's got that 5-second penalty. If there's a point though where those soft tires go off the cliff, which there probably will be, and Surf manages to close the gap, he just needs to get 5 seconds really. And then he can try to get the win, but that's a bit of a tall task. Unless we get a late safety car. That's where it's going to hurt Rebel the most, is if we get a safety car. Because then he'll have to go in and serve that penalty. Yeah, right now it's 5.8 seconds. Right now Rebel just making the most out of those soft tires. He's also used up a lot of battery, so I imagine he'll get the fastest lap here. And what do you know he does? Does a 32.6. Into the pits goes Blockman. He's given up on those tires. He'll definitely be looking now to a hard soft strategy, I would say. Or maybe hard medium if he still wants to play it safe. Alright, soft tires at the go for the AlphaTauri. And away he leaves. Ball is still on the back of Craig. Not close enough to do anything here. Blockman comes out ahead of Subflime. He's now on the back end of this train. Well, maybe more than that, just way further back. Subflime at DRS, but he won't be able to close up. Nor will get have the grip compared to Blockman. Honeybee down the inside, Harmesis into turn 4, he gets it done. He's got that move done pretty much silk and smooth there. No, actually, we reserved for the battle for third. I thought Professor Phil would have been closer for surf, but to surf, but I guess not. We'll now resume to the battle for third. This time, though, it's Professor Phil and Little Mick. Nander, though, is not too far away, but he is a bit of a ways back. Onto the main straight we go. DRS will be open for the Alfa Romeo. Slingshot by the French car. Yep, just like that, he now moves up into third. On those medium compound tires, so he definitely will have the more superior grip. The better mechanical grip compared to the Alpine. Bolo overtakes Craig there before turn 1. He's got it done. I don't think the battle's just quite over yet. As we head up towards turn 4, DRS open again for the McLaren driver. To the inside of turn 4. Ooh, that's a bit of a contact there. Can he get it done here to turns 5 and 6? Ball it to the outside. They give each other plenty of space. Good hard racing though by the pair. Oh! That's contact there. Yellows are out. One of the yellows for. It was right at this part of the back end. Was Subflime involved in something? I'm not sure entirely. There were yellow flags right about where this train was. There goes Blockman to the inside of Take It Easy. Making the most out of those soft compound tires. He moves up into 11th. Next target for him will be Honeybee. Right now he's in a bit of a battle between himself and Harmesis for 9th. Phil not close enough though into turn 1. You get a run though there, turns 2 and 3 towards turn 4, DRS open. Yeah, nothing more there, not close enough. 9 more laps to go in this race. Bala, not close enough though. Honeybee down the inside of Harmesis into turn 4. The Aston Martin seems like he's got the better grip. He's got the traction down and gets 9th place ahead of the Ferrari. But now they're both going to be under pressure soon from this man, Blockman. Currently battling for 9th here. Currently in 11th. Lock up there from the Ferrari. He's had a bit of a moment. That's going to give a big opportunity here for Blotman. Black Ball overtakes Craig inside for the AlphaTauri. Gets it done. The Ferrari may be quicker on the straights compared to the AlphaTauri by miles, but seems like the AlphaTauri is better in the corners. Alright, Craig again lines up a pass for the position here on Bola. Absolute ease. 7th place for him. Blotman going down the inside. Not close enough though into turn 1. We'll have the run though for turns 2 and 3 with the grip of the soft tires. Don't think there's much Honeybee can do as Bola overtaking Craig. Trying to get ahead of him into 7th. And Blotman has also got ahead of Honeybee as well. It's before turn 4. Well, Balf for 3rd still in the midst. It's now back to the 3-way fight for 3rd. Between Phil, Nander, and Mick. Oh, hello. Oh, Bola's had a bit of an error here. He's lost a couple of spots here. Honeybee goes down the inside, gets out of the McLaren. There into turn 11. Craig, though, right behind him here into turn 13. Will not do anything here, won't be close enough. Oh, it's Professor Phil. Gets past the Alfa Romeo 4th, 3rd. There's Nander there in the background there. Or in the back as well. Sergeant Bill currently occupying 6th. Been on those hearts for quite some time. There goes the Haas there into turn 1. That is Bola. Oh, but Craig goes off the road. Opens the door. Through goes the Haas, and also through goes the Ferrari. Currently Rebel, meanwhile, doesn't seem like those soft tires are letting go anytime soon. He's got a 10.2 second lead to his nearest rival of Surf. He's led pretty much every lap so far from start to lap 23, soon to be lap 24. Yeah, he's been on the money here at Bahrain. Honeybee overtaking Blotman there, that's for P7. Will Mick overtakes the Alpine there for 3rd. Blotman though will try to fight back here into the main straightaway. Towards turn 1 we go. DRS wide open for the AlphaTauri. Just managing to get past. Oh, a bit of a correction there. There's also Armistice trying to get by Bola there into turn 1, which he eventually does. Now towards turn 4. Oh, hello. Craig. Well, he's not close enough to do a sort of move there. Yellow's out. That is for Che. Spinning out at the final corner. He has had a race to forget here in Bahrain. Let's take it easy. Getting overtaken there by the Haas there of Subfalime. Backs off. Whew. Yeah, that was quite close. A little bit of a moment here. Safety car! Safety car is out! Subfilime has destroyed his front wing. We've now got a safety car that's been deployed. Oh wow, all of a sudden the race has now come alive. The safety car has been deployed. Yep, everyone's coming in for soft tires. I imagine though everyone else but in the leading pack will go into the pits for softs as well. Yep, new soft tires for literally everybody. Also, front wing change for Sparty. Yep, and a front wing change as well for the Haas of Subfilime. It's also brought Miles and Jay back to a position to fight for points. Rebel, though, is going to have to serve that penalty, though. But I think with the gap he's got, he should be alright. I would imagine. Because he's currently got a 11.7 second gap. Oh, well, actually, now it's less than that. Because he had to obey the delta. Alright, into the pits comes Rebel. There's the 5 seconds being served. The Williams has now come in, so yeah, I think Rebel will maintain his lead. He should be able to maintain his lead. Well, there you go. All because of a Haas destroying the front wing. Sergeant Bill, though, on medium tires. Why are you on the mediums? You surely shouldn't have run out of tires. I wouldn't have thought so. Very weird call for him to do that. Because he's not got drivers behind. Oh, wow. Invents a new racing line there at the final turn. Went completely off the racetrack. Yeah, now all of a sudden this race has really kicked off here with the safety car. If it stays out for another lap, that means we're not going to have DRS enabled. And yeah, everyone still has to catch up to the queue. Yeah, wow. Really changed completely here in this race with this safety car. No, safety car is not coming in, so we're going to have one more lap, so we'll have 2 laps to go to the checkered flag. It'll be a sprint to the finish, of course. Yeah, everyone's still trying to catch up. Yeah, Miles has got to get going quickly, otherwise he won't be able to be in the mix of this queue. Yeah, Sergeant Bill staying out on the medium tire. Or goes out on pits for medium tires. I don't understand that. He is going to be in a very vulnerable position. And then Jay also stayed out on the medium tire. And he's got a 3-second penalty that he got for multiple warnings. Jay's gone back into the pit, so he's going on to the softs. I'll be honest, I don't know if Milestrike will keep catch up, because look where he is. He's curling up towards the final turn, and the queue right now is at the end of the first sector. I could probably say the same story for Jay. Yeah, still waiting on anything to happen here. Gonna be an interesting finish, maybe. We'll wait and see what happens. Safety car is in. Yep, so no DRS at all for the remaining laps. It's just now gonna be trying to overtake the old-fashioned way. A sprint to the checkered flag. Now when will Rebel go is the question. Surf has got to make sure he reads the restart correctly. Miles gets a penalty for multiple warnings. I think you don't want to start on that spot there. If I'm totally honest, Surf, you might want to start a little bit. Yep. For the way he positioned, he didn't get a good launch compared to Rebel. We're back in the green though. Everyone's now within a train. And here comes little Mick looking inside here on the Alpine into turn one. He's going for it. Oh, but he looks up. Oh, that's going to cause a bit of a kerfuffle here. Nander goes to the inside, turns 2 and 3. He gets in front. And here comes Sergeant Bill as well. Looking inside into turn 4. Same with Bloodman as well. Little Mick has definitely lost out on this restart. The Mia tire, though, doesn't... Oh, actually, I was going to say doesn't have the grip. As Bowler's out of the race, he's crashed at turn 4. He is out as Bloodman goes wide. There at turn 7. Down the inside goes Honey B. He tries to go down the inside. Can't get the move done, but he loses the position to Blockman. Wow, what a big shame for Bowler. He looked like he was in good solid points, and he's out. Rebels already got a 1-second lead to Surf. The margin right now, 1 second between the top two. 1 second between Surf and Professor Phil, who's also might be coming under pressure from Nander. Craig going around the outside here. Harmesis there into turn 12. Oh, there's contact, brief contact. More contact. Oh, that could have been bad. As Country Don will now try to go through. 2 cars side by side. Oh my goodness me, this is going to get quite interesting here. Down the inside goes Harmesis. Take her easy, try to follow, but he couldn't do it. As now we're on to the final lap of the race. Yeah, comparison side by side here. The Ferraris following one. Oh, that's close. Country Dawn under pressure here from Harmesis there into turn 1. Going around the outside. He's got it done. And same with the other Ferrari of Sparty. He's got that move done as well. Sergeant Bill down the inside there into turn 4 on Lil Mick. Lil Mick has had a shocker of a restart. Oh dear, as more spinning in the back. That's Take Her Easy that spun, and the other McLaren of Craig have gotten involved in the an incident. Midfield scrapping it out all over the place. Here for the good position, at least some good positions for good points at least. Nander not close enough to Professor Phil. This is the battle for the final podium spot. Take Her Easy is out. Retires on track. Yeah, he was in that midfield scrap there. I saw a little bit there. Out of the race there. But meanwhile, Up towards the front, it's looking like a comfortable win for Rebel, who's led every lap of the race. Nander sends it to the inside, parks the bus there, and he gets in front. What a send there from Nander. Oh, Professor Phil is really unhappy with that move. Nander gets to third. Rebel wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, as there was a photo finish as well. Blotman getting ahead of Honey B. Sparty P9, Harmus is P10. Oh dear, oh dear. Nander had a big time, really big time send there. Although, he could have been a little bit more further back than I imagined. But he sent it where he needed to. I think it was a clean move if what it looked like. But he gets third there on the final corner on the last lap. But either way, that's what's happened. But Rebel wins the race here at Bahrain. Led every lap of the race and wins it here. And got fastest lap as well. Well, there are your unofficial results here of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Rebel wins it here from P2 on the grid, wins it, led every lap, and got fastest lap. Full complement of points for Rebel. Surf gets P2, Nander P3, Professor Phil gets P4, Lil Mick P5, Sergeant Bill P6, Blotman P7. Yeah, photo finish for the Battle 4. 7th place between Blotman and Honeybee. That was close, I saw there. Separate by half a tenth. Sparty 9th. Harvest is 10th. Dawn 11th. Sufferline 12th. JM 13th. Milestrike 14th. Craig 15th. Take Her Easy 16th. Blackball 17th. Harmony 18th. And Travail rounds it off in 19th. It did somewhat kicked off there on the final lap, but mainly in the midfield is where a lot of that action happened. All it took was Sufferline to lose his front wing at turn 10 for that to happen. Whew. Alright, I think with that, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here as well. Bit of a long one, but hey, we got through it. Yeah, congratulations to Rebel, congratulations to Surf and Nander on their respective podium finishes. But yeah, I think with that we'll wrap up the stream. I've been K1997, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time for round 4 of the championship at the Jeddah Corniche Circuit for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.